Greetings, you YouTube scoundrels, scallywags, and buccaneers. Today we are running in the Tier 7 premium German destroyer, the Z-39, which is notable as the premium destroyer which comes with its 150mm primary main cannons. And today she is being run with Main Armaments Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 1, Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, and Concealment System Modification 1. I'm also running her with a 10-point captain, running Preventative Maintenance, Torpedo Armament Expertise, Last Stand, and Concealment Expert. Now you will also notice that I am running with the unique German commander, Franz von Jutland. However, I have not opted for any of his unique skills, and personally I just don't think I ever will. As far as he goes, he was a free 10-point captain, and those unique skills I just don't see any real viable use for, especially not in co-op. In co-op, a lot of the things that he gives bonuses for you can work out either on intuition, although the Jack of all trades does sound nice. I can think of a lot more utility that could be gained from Adrenaline Rush or another 2-point skill than from reducing the cooldown time of my consumables, which I generally run the premium consumables anyway because they have such fantastic reload rates. Now, the Z-39 is a phenomenal little ship in and of itself. It has enough power to be a viable threat to some light cruisers. It still packs enough punch with its main 150 caliber guns to be a reasonable threat to most destroyers, even though your rate of fire certainly doesn't quite add up to that of the 123s on most others. And her torpedoes, like most of the other German destroyers, reload very, very quickly by comparison to a lot of others, which gives her, like the rest of the German destroyer line, a very, very good level of versatility when taking on enemy ships in match. Now, again, the 150mm guns do lack a little bit where it comes to reload. They reload a little bit slower, and they do have a little bit more of a traverse time. However, when they hit hard, especially the AP shells, which are the notorious, hard-hitting, high-damage German AP shells, which even from a destroyer can do a significant amount of damage. Now, coming at me is the enemy Z-39 here. This is co-op, mirrored teams. The only enemy destroyer is, in fact, my counterpart on the map. So once this ship is taken down, in a lot of ways I can actually have some pretty free reign. Although I do have a couple of cruisers coming down my throat, and I did take a little bit of a hit off of the enemy Pensacola. I think it probably had me under radar there for a little bit of time. But now that I'm in smoke, its radar is down, I can just have this enemy Z-39 and not really have to worry about too much. Now, things are going to get a little bit interesting later on, maybe a little bit too interesting, but one of the things that I do want to mention, and I will come back to it later, is I kind of wonder if how many of you have been watching the mini-map, because in the mini-map you'll notice that 2 of the friendly battleships, both of which are Colorado-class US battleships, have just kind of been tooling around in the upper northwest corner of the map and just not really doing much of anything. Now, granted, I can't say anything specifically regarding the one Colorado who actually did move. However, the Colorado still up by the spawn itself appears to have been at least AFK for the start of the match. But Overall, the choices of these two Colorados, or at least the one who decided to turn around, really kind of cost the team a little bit of a problem as things progress, but I will come back to them later. The Pensacola's been taken down. The Hipper is certainly going to take a bit of hurt. Unfortunately, I didn't get as much of a strike as I wanted to on the Hipper, but I'm going to get in another shot on her very shortly anyway. And as I've stated, the Z-39's torpedoes reload very quickly, and I have been very, very careful to make sure that I am not wasting torpedo salvos by dropping both sets at once on the target. Especially when I'm... And this is something that I especially take into consideration on any destroyer that I run when I'm dropping torpedoes on cruisers. If I can get a good shot on their broadside, I will only drop one set at a time, because usually, when dealing with cruisers, one set of torpedoes into the broadside is more than enough. Why use two when you can do the job with one? Battleships, however, are a bit of a different story. And, well, let's just say I've got a lot of battleships bearing down on me right at the moment. And things are really just kind of gonna start going bad here in a very, very short amount of time. I'm already down by half health. I haven't really been looking around, so I don't know the state of my friendly ships. But, again, there are, four enemy battleships coming into this area of operations. And we are going to start losing ships here very, very quickly. Now, I do get in one phenomenally good strike on this enemy Colorado, which allows me to get off my other set once it's reloaded on this enemy Alabama. Fortunately, or I should say unfortunately, this strike does not work out quite as well as I would have liked. I should have probably given it just a little bit more lead, at which point the Alabama most likely would have been taken out very, very effectively by the friendly Bismarck over here. However, as fate would have it, the Alabama was ready to heal, and it's actually going to knock out the friendly Bismarck in about 2 seconds. Which puts things into a real bind. We have now lost 3 ships in less than a minute. I've got the enemy Alabama bearing down on me, my torpedoes are still reloading, and there's the other enemy Colorado coming around to take me out from this island. And I'm looking at my health. I have just enough time to get off one more salvo of torpedoes before the Colorado takes me out with its secondary batteries. Now, at this point, I'm able to look around freely and start seeing where things are. And you can see in chat that I'm kind of wondering where the rest of my team is. I mean, yes, the vast majority of my team is kind of melted in very, very short order. But that being said, the Colorados especially just kind of caught my attention, trying to figure out where they are, what they're doing, and why they're nowhere near the engagement really at all. I mean, they're both sitting up there. Only one of them has really lost any health at all. And my initial attention actually goes to the friendly Alabama, who's running down in the corner trying to get away from the enemy Bismarck. And while he does have a significant health advantage, the one thing that kind of got me was that he was spamming AP at the nose of a Bismarck, which, while the Alabama does have some decent 16-inch guns, and the armor piercing isn't exactly shabby, he could have taken that Bismarck out substantially faster if he had just decided to sling a few rounds of AP, maybe set a couple of fires, and then he would have been able to turn around and head in to assist on the eastern flank. But instead, he decides to run over and kind of hug the border, still slinging AP, and he just ends up bouncing, ricocheting, or missing the vast majority of his shells. Now, I will say that he does eventually kill the Bismarck, but honestly, he spends way too long trying to take out this Bismarck when a couple of decent salvos of HE shells would have done the job very quickly and allowed him to refocus his efforts. And you can see me in chat kind of coming up and trying to tell him that his AP would work out, HE would work out substantially better, especially given the angles that Bismarck is operating at. It's primarily bow on. It's not until this salvo coming up here that he actually manages to find the superstructure and finish off the Bismarck. But now, on the other side of the map, there's still the enemy Hood and the enemy Alabama, which are granted on low health, but they've really just kind of been wreaking havoc. Those ships, along with the two enemy Colorados, wiped out literally 5 friendly ships with almost no resistance except for me and the friendly Bismarck, who really tried holding his own, but just we didn't have enough assistance, especially from these two Colorados who come in to the match late and kind of take off what's left. And this is kind of where I have to say that these are just some of the things that happen in co-op. You get teams where it doesn't matter whether or not everybody does everything right. Sometimes, even if you have a small handful of the players who do everything right, a couple of ships that just don't move or don't really do anything worthwhile for the vast majority of the start of a match can really just piss people off, for lack of a better term. Now, fortunately, they do at least rally and come back to win us the match, but it really kind of got me that it wasn't until halfway through the match that they actually started coming forward to do anything. Now, I did not exactly have a shabby match here. 233,000 credits earned. I got 14 torpedo hits, which in and of itself is amazing for a destroyer, and 606 base experience points, almost half more than our Alabama got. And I don't know if any of you were really looking, but when I go back to the team score in a little bit here, the two friendly Colorados, they really didn't make much by way of experience. And that really gets me. They didn't earn much. The screen is kind of going to go blank here because I have kind of hit the end of the video, but I do kind of want to finish off by saying that those two Colorados, they didn't provide much to the overall battle. And it shows in their experience gains. Why would somebody... Why? Why would they sit back and do virtually nothing? They aren't marked as TKs, they aren't... I don't know. It just kind of gets to me. Anyway, I guess I came out on top because of their tardiness, I guess I could say. Now, I don't want anybody to think that my animosity is solely focused on the Colorados, because in this section that I've rolled back to here, the Bismarck, I have to say, if he had sat back, stayed in sea cap just a little bit longer, stayed bow on to both of these enemy battleships that are coming at him, things would have been very different. Instead, he chose to just kind of charge forward. He ended up broadside to both of them and just got himself killed for it. And it didn't really help much of anything at all. It certainly didn't help me when, if he had been able to take out this Alabama, the match could have taken a very different turn. On that note, though, I suppose I shall cut this blank session short, and I will see you all next time.